this morning I was reminded of something super important, which is the ability to manage expectations in relationships. And when I say relationships, I mean all sorts. I'm talking about friendships, I'm talking about marriage, romantic relationships, work relationship, and what have you. The reason I'm saying this is because a lot of people have lost valuable relationships and even walked out of marriages, for instance, because they had unmet expectation. And when you look at the root cause, it's because they came into the relationship with lots of expectations that were probably not communicated properly. And even though they were communicated at some point, they didn't give the person the chance to actually grow into meeting those expectations. And I'm going to focus on marriage for a little bit. So when I was getting married, we did counseling. And one of the things that I think that my counselors told me that I held on to was make sure that you are managing your expectations. And this is such an important thing that I have held on to so far. I'm newish in marriage. I'm like 5.5 years in marriage, which is still new, right? But it's helped me so far because we forget sometimes that when we're getting married to someone, we're getting married to another person, another human being who is independent, who has their way of thinking, and who was brought up a certain way. Of course, you meet this person. And I think the problem is lots of people then just feel in their minds that this person will become everything they've dreamed of, right? And they sort of just forget, like I said, that this person has established habits. You hear things like, why are you not doing this? Why are you not doing that? I keep telling you, and it causes a lot of tension. Now, I will say, I'm not asking you to settle for less or to lower your standard. I'm saying that you need to consider greatly that the person that you're married to is another person outside of you. And you need to sort of bring yourself to introspect and ask yourself questions like, all these things that I expect, right? Did I know before getting married to this person that they'll be capable of meeting these needs? If no, then why would I expect that in marriage, all of a sudden they're going to change? And even if I'm communicating my needs, am I giving the person enough grace to grow into, the fullness of that expectation? Am I giving the person room to actually grow? Because it's one thing to communicate a need, and it's another thing to give room for what you've communicated to find expression. Finally, I'll tell you this, that in marriage, your partner should not be the only one that will fill your cup. Your joy should primarily come from God. However, you should have other things like friends, like hobbies, like other interests, because your partner is a human being and they're incapable of meeting all your needs. I hope this helps.